Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to give you a quick update on Ethereum Classic. I'm going to talk about the merge and its implications. I'm going to talk about the ETC hash rate. I'm going to talk about projects coming up on ETC, meme coins, DeFi projects, NFT projects. I am going to talk about the cost of a 51% attack. So the current cost of a 51% attack. If the bad guys know, everyone else should also know, right? Also, I will talk about a couple other things. So let's dive right in. All right, the very first thing I want to talk about here is big boys coming in. We have Antpool that came in not too long ago. This is a little bit of old news, but it's been a while since I made a video. So Antpool injected 10 million to support Ethereum Classic, and the executives of ETC Cooperative met with them to find the best way to put this money to use. So that's good. We have Nova Network providing support for Ethereum Classic ecosystem. They're going to bring a lot of professionalism, and they're going to be a way to house more projects here on Ethereum Classic. Bob Somerville, if you're not following him, you should follow him. He's the executive director of ETC Cooperative, and tweets a lot of relevant stuff about ETC. So he tweeted this, which I found very, very useful. And for those nerds out there who want to nerd out on it, I'm going to leave the link in the description below. This article was written by Isaac Artis. So check him out and follow him as well. Now, what this article does is it actually just goes to explore how much it would cost to be able to attack the network. I mean, Ethereum Classic, for 51% attack to be successful. So how much it will cost, hardware-wise, terahashes-wise. I think it's terahashes-wise. You have to do the hardware conversion yourself. This article came out before NiceHash recently announced that they had added ETC hash. So that makes things a little different, but it's not all bad news. The guys in the ETC Discord, brought out some very important points about that. So I'll talk about that in a little bit here. Okay, so one thing I want to talk about is MESS. So the question is, what is MESS? So MESS. MESS is a finality mechanism, right? It stands for Modified Exponential Subjective Scoring. This protocol was initially initialized by Vitalik Buterin and it was slightly modified by Isaac Artis, and he's the author of this article. So there's also a write-up somewhere that kind of suggests that to be able to get around MESS, all you need is double the network hash power. And the last time there was an attack on ETC, we had 5 terahashes, and today ETC has 45.5, and it keeps going higher and higher and higher. So it's just quite interesting to see how the network of ETC keeps rising. So that's the other part. Now back to the calculation here. So in short, when he calculated it all the way down at the end, you would have to be able to mine, if you can mine 16,000 ETC, right, a day. That's equivalent to about 500,000 US dollars a day. You're gonna need a lot of hardware to be able to mine that much in a day. It's gonna cost millions upon millions upon millions, a lot more, 10 times more than it probably would have cost back in the day when there was less awareness of ETC. So the 51% attack can pretty much happen to any blockchain, but right now it happening on ETC is going to be really hard for it to happen on ETC again. And with all this hash power that's going to be coming down from the merge. So when the merge happens, it's likely that smaller GPU miners might go all over the place. Some of them might go to all these other coins, Ravencoin, Ergo, Flux. But the bigger industrial ASICs and stuff are more likely, some of them may not even have a choice, but to stick with Ethereum Classic. So that's just very good news for Ethereum Classic believers. And I put out this poll. We got about 2,400 votes, and it was very interesting because when after the first 17 hours of the poll, Ergo was last, right? Ergo had about 5%, and then all of a sudden, two Ergo whales with over 50,000 followers retweeted it and said, "Everyone go vote," and then boom, they just took over. Now ETC is just filled with foot soldiers who nobody compensates. People like me. So again, these polls may not clearly represent the truth of where people will go, but it just shed some light on some of these other coins. I did some more research on these other coins, and the more research I did, the more I realized that DeFi projects on Ethereum that believe in the principles of proof of work, the philosophy of proof of work, will no doubt choose Ethereum Classic. So it's going to get really interesting. All right, so moving on. Let's talk about some projects on Ethereum Classic. A lot has happened. I want to give a big shout out to Hebe Swap, Hebe Block. At the very beginning, I'm always very skeptical about any project that is not fully doxed. But again, they are doing some things right, and they are, because of Hebe, today we have meme coins on Ethereum Classic, and they keep developing on Ethereum Classic. They have the hands, they have a swap. They just keep developing, and that's very good for the ecosystem. So, and of course, I do understand that with something like a decentralized exchange, it might be important for them to be anonymous in that respect. So a big shout out to Hebe for all the stuff that they are doing on here. Let's talk about some projects. I'm not going to talk about all projects today. Another time I'll talk about some. So if I miss your project, please, I will talk about other projects later on down the line. So the very first one I'm going to talk about here is Classic Rewards. So Classic Rewards, as you know, this project is very close to me. I am one of the founding members of this project, and we are working really hard. In recent times, we are actually demoing the game with. Sorry, I'm just pulling this up right now. I'm probably not going to edit this part out. We actually demoing the game with our community members in the Telegram. So we may not be that active on Twitter, but we are preparing for a big announcement soon. So that's why we decided to step back a bit. But the work is going on, and as you can see here, we are playing the game with some of our community members. The game is fully playable now, and we're just looking for bugs and finding little bugs and stuff before we open it to the general public.
Very good.
At the end of the day, it's probably going to be a good place to hang out. The game is actually quite competitive. And so what will happen is that we would have an active chat where instead of people just chatting, we will have these tournaments maybe on the weekends. And, NFT mints that will be coming in. We can allocate certain percentages of those mints to the game rewards before the token comes out. When the token comes out, that's what's going to fund all the tournament wins and all that. So if you haven't checked out Classic Rewards, check it out. All right, the next project I want to give a quick shout out to is ETC Frog Bug. Okay, so it takes a while for me to give every project the benefit of the doubt, or everyone the benefit of the doubt. But for some reason, this guy, just from the very beginning, I just feel like he's pretty honest with what he's doing. And he's doing a good job. He's pushing a lot, and he's doing a lot by himself. And the main thing about this is that he minted the NFT, and I think he uses them to buy miners, and 50% of the rewards goes back to the holders. that's a
That's good. That's
a
good. You're
huge
probably gonna be one of the
deal
dangerous
out there.
players
So
out
I
there.
think it's worth
I've heard you
looking
say
into.
you like the night, so
All
I knew
right.
you were
So
gonna
the
pick
next
a
one I
night.
want
That's
to
why I
give a
called
I
shout
you.
out
rolled
to
a
is
six, by the
Classic
way.
Swaggles.
Yeah,
Classic
it's
Swaggles,
still not enough
they
because the night has
actually
already
made theirs
fortified
free, and so
before,
you know
so
they
they
made theirs
lose out
free
quite a
back
bit.
in the day. The punks, original punks, were also free, and somehow, you know, they ended up being worth
All
three
right,
hundred thousand dollars. So
congratulations.
who knows? And so they also made theirs free. Classic Grace also made their NFTs free to mint. So if you're on ETC, give it a shot. Try your luck. Um, and I know all the early projects will all do well when ETC gets where it's going, right? So keep an eye on the early projects. All right, another one I want to give a quick shout out to is ETC Zuki. Zuki is one of our guys is behind this. Rob, you know, he's been in the community for a while, doing a lot for the community, so he's behind this. And for that reason alone, when it's out, I'm gonna mint some to support ETC Zuki as well. Okay, while we are here, let me give a few more shout outs. Another project to take a quick look at is Classic DAO and also ETC DAO. So these are two separate projects. Do your own research, you know, start from their Twitter, go to their website, read around, do your own research on these projects. We're excited that we have, you know, traditional DeFi projects coming on Ethereum Classic, and it's just going to help the growth of the network overall. So I might, you know, make a video comparing these two someday, but I would have to learn more about these two, uh, possibly have a conversation with the creators if they want to. All right, thank you, thank you, thank you. ETC basically they've done a great job at bringing new people in, and that's really awesome. And they are, you know, growing the ETC family as well. I'm looking forward to the comics. We also have Monkey Do. Monkey Do. They have been great at pushing the project, you know, spreading ETC out there, and we all know Decentra. You know, he's been actually the very first ETC chat that we had, where you know Donald, myself, a couple others, I think Savage, Financial Journey. Michael, you know, it was all organized by Decentra. So Decentra has been playing a role in this community for a while, and even though some may say that you know, he pushes the NFTs too much, he did play a very important role at the beginning of the growth of this ETC community, and that should be acknowledged as well. All right, so okay, this was the NiceHash. I think we're wrapping up here. Okay, so what I did was I went to NiceHash and I went to snoop around and see how many miners were actively on Ethereum Classic. Well, it's going up. Yesterday was 60 and today is 73. So as you can see, now people can actually rent mining power from NiceHash. So the guys in the Discord, what they said is true. And as you can see, there's 4 active orders, so it's not the same person. So the more people rent here, the more work that a hacker has to do, because now there are other people that are renting hash power to come and mine on here. And you can actually go on here also in NiceHash and see where the hash power is coming from, which zone, how many miners are coming from there. So it will be a good way to at least keep track of some of these. And if there's an alarm, let's say somebody you know has 90 terahashes per second, then you know maybe there's something that we could do. We could at this time at least we know where to look and keep an eye on stuff. So that's about all I have for ETC today. I know this I just put this up together real quick. Tomorrow's a holiday, so I might go live tomorrow. It's gonna be my first live in a long time. Thank you all for being here, and if you haven't subscribed yet, what are you waiting for? Come on, subscribe. All right, thanks. Bye. Have a good one.